Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Aggieville Alleycats podcast, where come rain, shine, or anything in between, we're here to deliver to you the Kansas State sporting news you so love. I'm Ace Edwards, right alongside
Connor Baltazar.
And man, this is another. Well, some last week was rough, but the most important thing is K-State sweeping the defending national champions from last year, and that's how we're going to open up this weekly recap. And that is the 3-0 Alleycats sweep of Texas. And Connor can confirm, and I can confirm with Connor's emotion, so we can kind of confirm each other's emotion here. This was probably the most excited we've been looking at a Alleycats matchup in a very, very long time. Not only did it break a long streak of, us not beating Texas in volleyball for a very long time, but this was a pretty, I'm not going to say it was a dominant sweep, but, it's a sweep, so it's about as dominant as you'd expect. But yeah, this is probably one of the biggest K-State Volleycat victories probably the last decade, and it's hopefully the first of many in the Mansfield era, but I mean, what else can you really say, right?
Yeah, I mean, this was incredible. It's the first win over Texas in 39 tries, which is super sad, but it's it does help drive home just how big of a win this was. It was our first sweep over Texas since 2000, I believe is what they said, which putting the series record up on the screen was an interesting experience, because at one point this was like a really close series.
It was 10-7.
It was 10-7, and then Texas decided to win 39 in a row. And but we do get the last laugh, and this wasn't really Texas throwing away the game either. This was K-State was super efficient on offense and played really fantastic defense. We were receiving really, really well. 53 digs. That goes a long way. And we were just everywhere Texas was trying to attack, we were there. And a lot of times in the past, and going up against really athletic squads like Texas, it's felt like they've been able to attack wherever they want. We've just been unprepared. And we were more than prepared for Texas. We completely overwhelmed them, not just with our preparation, but with our execution on the floor. It was incredible to watch. Completely unexpected, out of left field victory for the Alleycats, and a win that, especially after dropping a couple of games over the weekend, this one puts them very squarely, I think, in the tournament field right now. And I think they're kind of at a point where they just they're more comfortably in than I thought they would be at this point, especially given some of what we've seen from predictions from various volleyball bracketologists. We're doing a little bit better than I thought we'd be. Our RPI is in the 60s right now.
That
right?
was before this.
Yeah, 62. They only update it weekly.
Yeah.
So we won't know until Monday, but this probably vaults us at least into the low 40s, I would imagine. But
yeah,
what a win.
Yeah, I mean, hitting 351 for the entire match, that's really good.
Yeah.
And of course, you have the leaders in kills, like Aaliyah Carter with 20, Anaya Clinton with 7, and then Izzy Shulshevsky, honestly, may be the MVP of this game, because she did just about everything you could have asked her to do.
Yeah, she was phenomenal. She's been really great this whole season, but she was just excellent in particular in this match. She seems to really show up when it matters most. Because, I mean, not only did she get a few kills on, I don't know what it's called whenever the setter just sends it over on the second hit, but she got a couple on that. But then she also had a few off of a rebound or off of a miss hit where she just took advantage of the opportunities that she had. She also had some incredible blocks up against Texas. We were doing a fantastic job defensively as a whole. And then, of course, she was doing fantastic setting. She had 31 sets. She was phenomenal. I mean, Aaliyah Carter was incredible too. She had 20 kills in just 3 sets, which is really, really, really hard to do. Yeah. That is a incredible feat for Aaliyah Carter. That's the tied for 5th most kills in a 3-set match in school history. And it's the first time that K-State's had somebody do that since she did it back in 2021 against Wayne State. So she
a little bit of an upgrade in competition.
Yeah, and you could say it's against a better team. But just unbelievable stuff from both Aaliyah Carter and Aggieville Alleycats in particular. I thought those two were definitely the banner winners. A shout out though to Brenna Schmidt, who had some huge kills in this match. She had a few in particular late that were massive, and her development has been really interesting to watch this year.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, especially coming after losing 2 matches up against KU. No, we're not going to cover those because we don't want to, other than mentioning them, which is the first one was a 2-3 kind of choke job, and the second one was just a sweep. So, coming off of that, picking up a victory against number 3 in the country and the previous national title winners, that's massive. Like, that is big, big time stuff.
Yeah, and to hand them their first Big 12 loss on the year, just the second time they've been swept this whole year, and the only other time was to Stanford, who was then second ranked, and I think they're currently 4th or 5th, and they'll probably be moving back into second or third now. I mean, this is a massive win over a super talented team. I mean, you can even just see it with just how tall everybody on their team is. Yeah. Like, everybody is super tall. They're like half their lineup's going to be an Olympian, and I mean, they're just incredible. They're really good every year. They are just able to dominate the high level talent and dominate recruiting circles. There's very little to be done about that. They just have access to more funds than we're ever going to have for that. But I mean, like, it was pretty incredible to watch, Aggieville Alleycats, even though she's only 5'7", going up and getting, I think what was counted as block assists, but should have been there should have been at least one solo block for her. Going up and getting kills. She was really the heart of the team, even though Aaliyah Carter, I think, was the winner on the stat sheet for sure. Yeah.
And one final note on this game, the environment was really good as well.
Yeah. I'm looking at the capacity on the box score. It looks like we were slightly past capacity, so we were just in the standing room, because I think it's 3,000 is the capacity at Morgan Family Arena. But this win marked, I think it was 12 straight set wins against ranked teams at home.
Yep, 12 straight set wins against ranked teams at home.
Yeah, because that goes back to all the way to Iowa State, and then BYU twice, and then Texas. So going back quite a ways, we've been completely holding serve at home. It's pretty incredible to see Morgan Family Arena kind of develop over the season into this place that's legitimately difficult to play. And when I saw the capacity was going to be 3,000 initially, I was a little worried. Texas's arena is only 4,000, so I guess it's really not that bad at all. 3,000 is what you have to have, I think, to host for NCAA volleyball regionals. That's not something we're going to do, but
be cool.
It would be fun, but not this year. Not this year, at least. But no, it was an incredible environment. The students were really into it, and they tried to storm the court after. Security said no.
Cowardly behavior.
Let the kids have fun.
Let the kids have fun. But yeah, the next matchups are up against Texas Tech at home next Friday, and then Houston the Saturday after, so 2 weeks from now. That's Thanksgiving Saturday, I believe. Yes, it is correct. I have a calendar right in front of me. But yeah, huge win for the Alleycats. So after that, real quick, we'll just take a quick word from today's sponsor. And we are back to this weekly recap for the Aggieville Alleycats. Before we get into men's basketball, if you are enjoying the episode, please be sure to leave a review and let us know. It helps spread the podcast around, and it's just nice to see. But now we can get into men's basketball, the regular season debut, down up against USC in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, K-State ended up falling 82-69, and a lot of this performance, okay, I'm not upset with this performance. I'm fine with it, and the main reason why is because this is one of those losses that I think you can just kind of shrug your shoulders and say, it just wasn't really their day, especially in the first half. I don't expect us to go 8 for 33 shooting the three-point ball very often, especially in the first half where Tyler Perry was ice cold up until the very end. But, I don't want to minimize, but USC is a very good team. They've proved that. And we're still getting used to an offensive philosophy, so on and so forth. But I think the most important part, it just wasn't our day.
Yeah, it was a disappointing game for sure, especially coming off of last year. I think there's a lot of different lenses to view this game through, and it definitely is disappointing. I think just coming into the year after last season with so much hype, you can look at it through different lenses though and say last year's team didn't look incredible in the non-conference. We beat Cal, but if you really if you watch that game live, that game was a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah, it wasn't really convincing.
Yeah. So, but this year still, I would have liked us to show a little bit more life defensively. USC is a really good team, though. There's a reason they had the number 1 recruiting class, even without Bronny James. They have some incredible players. And yeah, this is also, I think you said it well, this is not going to be a team that shoots sub 30% from 3 super often, I'm hoping. Tyler Perry did start to figure it out towards the latter half of the game. Cam Carter actually shot fairly decently from 3, although he didn't make any of his other field goal attempts, which is another issue. But there were still some bright spots. I thought that the bigs were generally good. When I say the bigs, I mean the genuine post players, not including Arthur Kaluma and that. He didn't have a great night. But David Gasson, I thought, was pretty good.
Had a double-double.
Yeah, he had 10 rebounds. I thought our rebounding was surprisingly good. Will McNair, in limited action, he looked better than I anticipated. And then Jarrell Colbert, he was pretty foul prone, but was a rim protector and had a couple of dunks. He was pretty solid, I would say. But the guard play definitely has some development to do. RJ and Day definitely kind of seemed like fish out of water, I think. That's a pretty difficult game to start your career with. Granted, you can say the same thing for USC, but they just had a different caliber of recruits. Both of their true freshmen that were going off are probably going to be lottery picks. So it's difficult game to sit through as a K-State fan, but there were still some positives to take from it. But I'm more interested to see how they're going to refocus and learn from it.
Yeah, we can go over the stat lines pretty briefly here. I'll go over the starting 5 if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right. Tyler Perry had 35 minutes, 5 for 17 from the field, 4 of 12 from 3, but 8 of 9 on his free throws with 6 rebounds, 3 fouls, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 4 steals, 22 total points. Yeah, it's the field goal percentage that really killed him. But wait, you have one of the guards who did worse. Cam Carter with 28 minutes, 4 of 16 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3. You can't have that. Well, you can take the 4 of 9 from 3, but you can't take the 4 of 16 from the field. 3 of 4 on his free throws, 5 boards, 4 fouls, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 15 points. David Gasson, as we mentioned earlier, had a double-double with points and rebounds. 5 of 8 from the field, took a 3 of all time, missed his 1 free throw. As I said, 10 boards, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, Arthur Kaluma was really cold the entire game. 1 of 11 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. 4 of 6 on his free throw attempts, but did get 9 boards, fouled 4 times, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 steal, 6 total points. And then Taj Manning rounded out the starting 5, played 9 minutes, only got 1 board credited to him. I guarantee you he contributed more than that. But that was his lone stat on the game, was getting 9 minutes and 1 board. So, and that sort of 5th spot was taken up by a lot of different people.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing out of that whole lineup is David Gasana's 7 offensive rebounds.
Oh, yeah.
I was pretty surprised to see that, but I think he might be due for a big improvement this year. But getting into the bench, just kind of a mix of guys that had good, not great games to not as good games. Will McNair, he only played 9 minutes. But he looked pretty good, all things considered. He had 3 offensive rebounds, 8 points, 4 or 5 from the field. He was really good. Jarrell Colbert had a scary fall late in the game, but he
seems okay.
We haven't heard anything, at least, about him being hurt. He had 4 points, 2 rebounds, few blocks, a few turnovers. Was kind of foul prone, though. Dorian Finister played 12 minutes. He had 2 points, 2 fouls, and a turnover and a steal. RJ Jones... Ofer from the field, had 2 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, a turnover. Day Ames, Ofer from the field as well. He didn't score. Had 3 fouls, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, and a rebound. And Michaela Birch played 5 minutes, but he didn't register any stats. So, not incredible from the bench. Will McNair was fairly decent, I thought. Jarrell Colbert, I think, had a nice defensive impact, if not still being foul prone, which could be a concern. I was hoping for a little bit more from the true freshman guards. Not even a lot. I was just hoping for a field goal.
Something.
I was hoping for maybe a field goal each from either of them, and they weren't really able to do that. But that was most of the team. We weren't converting wide open looks. Our shot quality, I think, was probably really good. I think that we were getting some really excellent open looks, and they just weren't falling. Which, if that becomes a common theme, then that's a bridge that we can cross. But I'm not gonna burn it down after a single game.
And being fair, USC's threes weren't really falling either.
Yeah, it felt like they were, but they really weren't, because they went 5 of 20. They were just getting to the bucket a lot, is what it was. Boogie Ellis and Isaiah Collier pretty much just got to the rim at will. Isaiah Collier was 7 of 9 from the field, but he only made 1 3. So it was just talented freshmen getting downhill and getting past our guards and using their size to their advantage. That was pretty much it.
Yep. So disappointing way to open the season, but I'm not ringing any alarm bells or anything.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
But the next 2 games are up against Bellarmine and South Dakota on Friday and Monday, respectively. So, opportunity to sort of step into the offense in a less bad situation, I guess. But yeah, I'm not ringing any alarm bells yet. I still think that this is at minimum going to be a very fun team, and I think the talent on the roster is a tournament roster.
Yeah, it's just would have liked to see us put up a bit more of a fight on the scoreboard, at least with USC. If you're going to be on national television, you need to make the most of that. Yeah. But could have been worse, I guess, with how we were playing at times.
Yeah. Now we can talk about the women's basketball team in their first game up against Presbyterian. Ended up winning 69-35. This was a pretty, obviously they only scored 35 points, so it's a pretty dominant defensive game. First general note. Yeah, I still have offensive concerns with the team. I still have offensive concerns. But the bright side, they did shoot 36.8% from 3. I'll take that. It's just 44% from the field in general. I'll take a little less of that. Just a wee bit less of that. But I also think that a lot of it is sort of, you got to keep in mind that the main 2, Ioka Lee and Gabby Gregory, haven't played together yet. I know that was like a big part of it, and it's quite clear that other than Serena Sundell, people are still getting used to how to pass to Ioka Lee, because she was seemingly the only one to have figured that out so far. Unless I'm missing someone, which is possible. But I have a few offensive concerns, but they seemingly figured it out towards the back end of the game, so I'm fine. And we won by 30, so...
Yeah, I mean, this was a fine game. I think they probably should have dominated more than they did, but it seemed like they were kind of sleepwalking throughout a lot of the first half. They shot better in the second half. First half shooting, especially from three, wasn't good. They were 1 for 11 in the first half, which pretty bad. But they did decently in the second half. They emptied the bench. We got to see Terrence Sides get 16 minutes. Did not score, but did still get a lot of time, although she did foul out in 16 minutes, but that's just part of being a freshman. But yeah, everybody was just kind of cold, especially in the first half. We were missing a lot of easy stuff, and that's just something that I'm a little bit more concerned about with the women's team, just because they have proven in the past that they can be a bad shooting team. The same cast of characters, for the most part, has shown me that they can go completely cold pretty much whenever they want. So I'm a little nervous about that. Bright spot, though, Ziana Walker was great in her debut as a Wildcat. She played 12 minutes, perfect from the field, 13 points. A lot to like about that performance, and scored at both levels. So pretty good there. Ayoko Lee looked pretty comfortable in her first game back. Had a few just kind of roll out, but still had some big blocks as well. We got a ton of steals in this game, 18 of them as a team, which is just a crazy number of steals. But all in all, it was a pretty complete game in the second half. First half left some to be desired, though.
Yeah. And I think just in general, this team will be very, very annoying on defense, like to go up against. I think that they'll just be really annoying because they're just going to, well, first off, they're finally playing man, but they're just constantly in your face and able to reach for the ball generally without fouling you. Especially the Glenn twins. Briley must have picked up lessons from Jalen because they both had 4 steals this game. But yeah, I think defensively it's going to be a pretty good team. Like I said, the only questions I have is about shooting and how all the offensive pieces are going to come together. But yeah, do you want to go over the starting 5?
Yeah. Ayoko Lee, she was 5 of 11 from the field, 14 points, 7 rebounds. Added 3 blocks, 2 steals, 2 assists. She was quality. She looked good. I'm imagining she's just kind of ramping back up to full speed. Jalen Glenn played 29 minutes, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, had 11 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, 4 turnovers, a block, and 4 steals. Gabby Gregory had a bit of a slow start to the year, 2 of 6 from the field in 25 minutes, made 2 threes on 2 of 5 from deep, 6 points, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a turnover. Bradley Glenn only played 15 minutes, made 3 of 6, had 6 points, 2 assists, and then added 4 steals as well. And then Serena Sundell rounded out the starting lineup. She played the most minutes out of anybody as well. She played 30, had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 blocks, and then 3 steals too.
Yeah. And then just kind of the notable bench players. Ziana Walker had an amazing game, 12 minutes, perfect from the field, including 3 of 3 from 3. 1 rebound, only 2 fouls, 2 assists, 13 total points. Gisela Sanchez played 20 minutes, 3 of 8 from the field, which is my punishment for calling her to Connor's face the best player in the scrimmage. Sorry, that's on me. But she did have 4 rebounds to only 1 turnover and 1 block, 6 total points. Heavenly Greer had 4 total points and an offensive rebound. Amani Lester and Rebecca Dollinger each had 2 points. Terrence Sides had a bit of a rough game. Didn't manage to hit any shots, but played 16 minutes with 4 rebounds. And then Jamia Harris and Eliza Maupin, neither of them scored, but both of them ended up getting a rebound. So you'd be happy with the fact that we emptied the bench there. And, you know, I don't want to overreact, but first off, both of the Louisville transfers looked really good. Amani Lester looked way more athletic than I thought she would.
Yeah, her high school tape shows she was fairly athletic, but I wasn't expecting her to be fully up to speed, I guess, so quickly. And Ziana Walker, I didn't know what to expect at all from her, and she looked great. She was, I think, could be a really great spark plug off the bench as a scorer for this team. She looked really, really good, I thought. And I'm excited to see how we use her this season because she could be a really good weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say about the first game. Do you have anything else to add?
Nothing else, no.
All right. Well, the next time you will be able to see the Cats will be this Saturday at 1 p.m. So if you can get service in the stadium, or if you're, just sitting at home waiting for the football game, put on the women's basketball team when they play up against Little Rock. And then next Thursday is the biggie. Next Thursday, I think, is a really big put up or shut up game at Iowa. Would I project us to win? No, but I expect that to be a really competitive game, just because I think our depth is really good. So I think this may be a game that Iowa may come out hot, but we just claw our way back into the game by virtue of having enough bodies that we don't get that tired.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect from this Iowa game. It'll be our first challenge, really, and it's going to be a massive challenge. We beat them last year, of course, so they'll potentially be out for revenge. I'm not sure if they'll even care about that necessarily, or if they'll just be more fueled by wanting to make another run at the national title, especially since the defending champs look very vulnerable. So there could be plenty of factors fueling Iowa in this matchup. So it's going to be appointment television, I think, for K-State fans. I think everyone should make an effort to tune in to this matchup. It's going to be massive.
Yeah, and it's on FS1.
Mm-hmm.
So the women's team's getting some big boy billing.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, well, that's a next week problem. But Wisconsin, so sorry, Serena Sundell, for the elbow you're about to take to the face. But she managed to avoid it in the Presbyterian game, so maybe she's gotten lucky.
Yeah, hopefully so. But I guess we'll have to see if she can make it through unscathed.
But yeah, that pretty much wraps up all of the actual news for the weekly recap. Now, of course, we have the wacky segment of the week. This one we're just going to do a little bit simpler. You had to drink one thing for the rest of your life, assuming that you don't suffer any downsides from it and you still get proper hydration from it. What is the one beverage that you will drink for the rest of your life? You are not allowed to drink anything else.
One thing forever.
Yes.
You go first.
Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
I really wish that we captured the look of disappointment on Connor's face.
Well, I was mainly hoping you'd take a little longer.
Well, no. Okay, I'll explain myself. The main reason why I say Dr. Pepper, and the main reason why I put the caveat of you still get the same hydration benefits, is that if I didn't get the same hydration benefits, I would just say water, because I need that to live. But if it's the same hydration benefit, I'm just going to go with, whatever tastes the best. And to me, that would be Dr. Pepper.
And it's same, health benefits and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'd probably say, Diet Pepsi then or something? Or Diet Dr. Pepper. I was thinking maybe, Powerade Zero. I'm a Powerade Zero guy. But I guess if there weren't any drawbacks to just drinking soda, I'd consider that. But the thing is that I might get sick of soda. Because if you could only drink soda, that would get that could kind of annoying after a while, maybe.
Yeah.
So there's an argument to be had for still just saying water.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I'm not a coffee drinker either, so I'm not saying coffee.
Yeah, no, neither of us are coffee enjoyers. With that being said, thank you all for listening to this episode of the Aggieville Alleycats podcast. If you want to follow or contact the show, you can follow us just about anywhere at Aggieville Alleycats. And if you want to email us, we're aggievillealleycats@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on a more personal note, I'm at ACEdwards00.
I'm at Connor Baltazar, capital C, capital B.
And if you want to support the show financially, please be sure to check out the official Aggieville Alleycats merch store, where you can just find it in either our Twitter bio or our podcast bio. But most importantly, thank you all for listening to this episode of the Aggieville Alleycats podcast, where come rain, shine, or anything in between, we're here to deliver to you the Kansas State sporting news that you so love. Stay safe, Alleycats.